you know for a fact that shit's not fucking. Oh my god, this is that hot sweaty that people singing in fucking rap songs and it's like no, dude, you probably like rubbed out like 3 pumps and you're good and you're done. Like that's it, you know. And it's like, and then
No shame.
there, I was like, no shame in
shame.
that, no shame for people, right? And it's like, you know, shout out to the 1 pumps.
Well,
Dude, as long as you're ready
to
for
go
round 2, you're good.
I feel like I'm forgetting something. I'm gonna prepare
Weed?
the weed as we're playing.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I'm literally. I went to the shop, so I'm gonna grind it as we're. You know me, I need to keep my hands busy, and at least that's like productive to the podcast somewhat.
Why don't
I'm,
you
like,
teach a class real quick? How do you grind your weed, Lee?
Welcome to the podcast. How I
Oh,
grind my
never
weed?
mind.
No, I'm just kidding. It's easy. Oh, you know what I use? I used my Christmas gift from 2 years ago
Oh, right, I
to
forgot.
grind up my weed. You know who got me this Christmas gift? Wisher. That's who got me the Christmas gift, Mr. Rish Scorpion. It's actually really good. It's actually super, super helpful. The only thing that I don't actively use is the container, but that's because it's over here. It used to be right here or right here. It was closer, and I was like a little bit I was less messy on my desk. Um, was was. Now there's just so much shit, and I'm just like, you know what? Let's just keep the grinder here. I do use the container though, like the actual like small container. What I'm talking about is like a box, it's like a wooden box, but it's really nice. It's really cute. So I do use it. So I appreciate it. It's a great gift.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, welcome to the podcast.
Yay.
Yay. We're you guys' favorite idiots. We
My
are
food's outside.
recording this for the what is it? 20th episode or 19th episode? Something
19th.
like that.
19. Mm-hmm.
My
19.
food's outside.
Big 19. Meow.
We're back.
Hi.
I want to go pick up my food.
Yes. But welcome to the podcast. We are doing episode 19. How was your guys' week? I don't think we hung out a little bit. Only a little bit. I mean, I think you guys like hung out fairly like more recently than we have as a 3. But how's your guys' like I guess week been since we last like recorded for the podcast? Because I have like again, I haven't really talked to you guys too much.
It's been tiring.
Nice.
That's
Yeah.
it?
I mean, I haven't really done anything. I mean, it's just been stressful. Like work's been a pain. Yeah, I've just been tired a lot. Like honestly, I've been like catching up more on sleep. Obviously, I'm at the gym. But yeah, I'm just tired. Like work's been kicking my ass. My car took a shit on me. Not really took a shit on me, but it's concerning.
Rip.
So there's that. Yeah, that was literally the only highlight, and that was today. So when this airs out, my car for some reason decided to fucking blow all its horns and whistles all at once, and like all my sensors turned on. So now I have an appointment on Saturday to take the car to go check it out because I'm like, yo, there's a brand new car. Why is this going on?
I see. Richard, what about you?
My week was kind of boring-ish. It's mostly just work. I had rehearsal yesterday because we have a gig next Sunday. What's it called? Basically the Sunday after Thanksgiving, so that would be fun. And then
Isn't that like the first weekend of December?
No, the 27th, I think.
Yeah, it would be the 27th.
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant like the weekend after the weekend of Thanksgiving.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then what's it called? Yeah, that's pretty much been it. Honestly, I haven't really done much besides literally just been here and at work, just doing work or here editing, whatever the fuck's happening.
Nice. Sorry, I was muting myself because I am
He's grinding
preparing the devil's lettuce. Yes. I finally went to
Oregano.
a shop. That is very, very recent because I have been out, and I think I was out the last time we recorded this. I try not to re-up on my stuff too much because I see it as a hobby and it can be an expensive hobby. So I try to keep it fairly you know, on the cheap side, if my dad could hook it up with something, or somebody I know. I don't know, something like that.
It's like bumming a cigarette type of thing.
Yeah, basically. But instead of like the cigarette usually lasts you that one session, I try to make it last like however long till I like I'm finally like, you know what, let me just go to a shop and buy and stuff like
Mm.
that. So I finally went to the one that is pretty local. Or not local, it's like 2 minutes from my house. But um I hate going to shops.
Why?
I hate it because as much as I smoke, I hate the complexity behind going to a shop and then going in there for the first time or just in general. And it's always like, hi, so the top shelf is 15 for 4, 40 for 40 for 50 for 50. It's like number for this number for that number, this number for that number. And I'm just like, I just smoke.
They're weird. Like they're awkward.
It's
Not
not even awkward.
really.
It's just like I feel like people just understand that like number concept. Like people on like when I'm pretty sure if I were to remember exactly what she said, someone that does smoke that would hear this would be like, "Oh, that's not that complicated." But I'm tired. I just got done with work and
Yeah.
I'm exhausted and I want to go home. But it's been a while since I've had anything to like really take the edge off of a long work day. So I was like,
I need
let me
that.
just go swing by. So the only thing that I recognized was like on the top, she pointed at all the jars in the top shelf. There was moon rocks, and those are the no moon rocks. I was trying to get some, but I was $5 off, and they were not gonna give me $5 off for being a newbie. So that's how I was like, hmm,
How much do you? How much
interesting.
do you like? How much do you buy?
Well, I don't spend a lot. I usually spend like $20 to $30,
Oh,
40 if
what is
I'm
that?
like if
Like
it's
a
only because
dime?
that's what I get, huh?
What's 20? A dime? It's like a nug or two.
I put 25 and I think I got 8 grams, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I can actually show this one because it's not, clear. So it's like just so
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
that
yeah.
much. So imagine it's this size, but packed. Like it's
Yeah.
pretty
They're
much
like
packed, and
fat.
she put like really like a real fat one, like a couple
That's
fat
cool.
ones in there. I'm like looking at it right now. That shit is chunky. So I'm like, hell yeah. So
You-
I just
YouTube,
prepared that.
that's an M&M's container. You know the M&M's
As an
minis.
M&M's.
That's all that
It's a
is,
film. It's literally for a camera container.
or
That's
that
literally what
whichever
it is.
one is better for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, whatever YouTube, whatever gets your rocks off, that's what it is.
Really?
Um,
I thought it was just like where you like your Advil pill, ibuprofens.
oh, like a pill container?
Yeah.
I feel like it's a little
That
smaller, but
that
kind of, yeah, a little bit.
looks like the pills. Never mind.
But yeah, so that's what I did today. So I did that, and then what else did I do? Um, oh, I got a new monitor. I'm looking
Mm.
at us
Oh, that's
on it
right.
right now, so I'm using that. So that's been pretty freaking sick. I got it, had my brother help me out a little bit, tested it out, and I wanted to show it to my dad because he trips out and he plays games and stuff like that too.
Mm-hmm.
And when I showed it to him, I was playing Rainbow, and he was like, "Oh my god!" Like
Oh
you know when we go, "Oh my
my
god!" It's just him like,
Yeah.
"Oh my god!"
It's like all the frames are
And then
perfectly normal.
my mom was walking by, she's like, "Ale, Ale, look at it, look at this,
god!
look at this game. Is this crazy?" And it was in the middle of a round of Rainbow, so it was very exciting. So I thought it's been really fun. It's really cool. But so that's been pretty tight.
Do you feel like it's
What?
beefed up like your gameplay? Like it feels better?
So
It feels better for sure.
Like
I don't know if I'm
visually?
playing any better, but it feels better.
I wanted to keep up like a somewhat same topic because I have the same one that you have, but I have
Mm.
1440p. So it's just bigger slightly.
Oh,
I got it because I thought it would be cool, and I thought I was like, dude, everything's gonna look so much better, which it does.
mhm.
It's such a bitch though, like
Wha-
especially with my current graphics card because I guess it's
oh,
like pushing it to the point where everything is being bottlenecked at this point,
oh,
and
Mm.
because of
yeah,
the monitor or your
because
hardware?
of the hardware.
Oh,
Because like I have a 2070 Super and it's good, like obviously, but like anytime, like I know you guys have noticed it, like right after we finished the podcast last time or some shit. I started playing Overwatch and I still had my camera on, and that
Oh
technically
yeah,
means
like
that I'm
flicks.
oh,
streaming.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
it started flickering, and
yeah.
I was like,
Mhm.
"What the fuck?" Okay, that's weird. And then I thought I fixed it, and then I tried streaming Monday, and the same shit was happening on stream, it was just like stuttering. Like my whole computer was just slowing down, and I was like, dude, I have a brand new processor, like brand new motherboard. What the fuck is happening? And I
You
looked
like
it up.
have half of a new computer now
Basically.
because of all the shit you were
Yeah.
doing with
And
it.
I looked it up, and it's basically just like saying like, yeah, when I play in 1440, basically the graphics card is using up like 80% of like what
Can't you
it
drop
can
that?
do right now. So what's it called? When I stream or anything like that, it's just not enough bandwidth or whatever to sustain, putting up those graphics or whatever the fuck. So I can change it. Yeah. I can go back down to 1080, which I did. And honestly, like, it's not the biggest difference, but
But you can see
I've
it.
noticed it. Yeah. But what's it called? I was like, fuck it. If like, as long as like I can actually fucking play and probably start streaming again because it's been annoying.
Did
Like,
this what was it? Like a few days ago, I was just fucking around,
Mm.
and I usually, I mean, obviously, I stream like when I play my games, I play it on my nicer monitor.
Mm-hmm.
But
Same.
when I really got into like streaming or like just playing in a smaller monitor, like I have a bend, like my right camera, this one right here. Obviously, you guys can't see it, but the one is basically like where I have like my Discord and everything, all the like the like utility stuff.
Utility
Yeah.
stuff.
I moved Valorant to play on that, and I was like, this looks like shit. I was
Yeah,
like,
no
no.
shit,
I was like,
no.
let me. I mean, it's 60. It's like it was. What is it? It's like 60 to like 144. So I'm like,
Well, yeah, no,
no.
don't.
What is it? What do I have?
I don't know, but
forgot.
60 to 144, there's the difference. Once you see
Yeah.
that difference,
Dude,
you can't
it
go
is-
back.
Yeah, I'm
that's what I was
never.
on.
That's
Yeah.
that's
Well,
what literally least
I
change
wasn't
right
even
now.
on a 60. I was on a 90, and now this thing is apparently a 170. So I can kick things up to 170, but I kick it up to 165 because I'm too chicken shit and worried about like overworking.
Run
shit.
that shit, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it'll be
No,
fine.
wait,
It's
I
spec
think-
for it.
260 is what I have, I think, because that's what it
No.
shows on Valorant. No,
No.
I forgot. Valorant shows it like
It
how much
shows you FPS, obviously, like
Yeah.
how
It's
much
like
you're
two-
supposed
oh,
to get, but your
244.
monitor can only go up to whatever it's spec to. So
Yeah.
144 is probably more than likely what it
whatever the
is.
high, whatever like one of the high ones is.
Yeah,
Mm.
144 is usually like the standard of where it's at. Anything above that, I think you start reaching like 240 or whatever. But
That's what it is, but
but
it doesn't go to that. Yeah.
no. But when you go, you definitely don't have a 240. When you have a 240, you just don't see the difference between that and 144 anymore. It's like if you do, it's so slight that it really doesn't matter. But what's it called? That's what I'm saying. Like for Lee, when he switched his 60 to 144, it's like you just see it. It's like everything's just so much smoother.
It's like light and day. If
Mhm.
anything, I felt a little sick watching it. Like I
Yeah.
kind of just.
Yeah,
I was
you
just kind of like,
gotta get used to it.
this is weird. Like I get a little motion sickness, dude. I was playing. I'm pretty sure this was a result of like how I was sitting or something like that. But I was playing TF. I was playing TFT, and things are even smoother on League. And I had something on the monitor, and I'm just like looking at so many things. I got dizzy, but I also think that's just because of TFT in general. Like people even say that that's what happens. Like you get dizzy when you're playing TFT because you're just trying to like. It's a lot of brain power, and it's called auto chess. So I
Nerd
feel like my
games.
brain's trying to like use the same amount of fucking nerd power as chess players do. I'm not saying that I know how to play chess or anything like that. I'm not trying to make it comparative. I'm just saying like that's what the gaming style is called. But
Careful, dude.
Brian
will challenge your ass again.
oh my god, no! I never played chess.
That
with him.
man lives
I
to
think I
compete.
did. I don't even think I did checkers. I remember I'm just scarred from having like going to my mom's school for summer daycare, and then the older kid or the like young adult teacher assistant doing checkers, and I asked if I could play, and then it was just like a
Ass beating.
I got one to like da, 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 da. I got 5. Bitch. I was like just out of it.
You get your
Just
participation
sadness.
award, dude. Oh,
It was fucked up. It was fucked up.
there's winners
Trauma.
and losers in this life, Lee.
This was such. Oh, I was gonna be
And I
like,
was one of the losers when I was 10. I was 10 or 9. I was
they're
really
shaping you already, dude. What do you mean?
rolling in it. But what's it called? I was speaking of games, I was on YouTube. I was working, so I was trying to figure out what to watch, like to have something in the background while I was just doing my thing. And apparently data miners got the cutscene for Destiny because the season's ending pretty soon. I think it's ending in 2 weeks now or something like that.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get out of season of Plunder into season of whatever. I don't know the name. But they showed a cutscene. So the cutscene basically just shows like it just describes Osiris and Saint 14. These are two characters, both male. One's a robot and one's a human, for those of you
Mhm.
that know nothing about Destiny. Um, but Saint and Osiris, so it's basically Saint talking about Osiris, the human, Saint's the robot, and he's just saying what Osiris said is what he saw when he was being controlled by you guys, the Witch Queen,
The
basically.
queen.
You know, when we did the cut
Yeah.
the campaign. For those of you that don't know, it's just an evil bad girl, basically. I'm just trying
Not
to.
not bad like she bad, more just bad like oh
I
bitch.
mean, there's
I
a
mean,
lot of weird shit about her
she
online, and
bad.
I've seen it. It's people think she bad. Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've seen it on the internet too.
people
That's
The
why
are
I said
just
internet
it.
is
horny for
a
everything, dude.
no, yeah. The
Yeah.
Did you
internet is
guys
a weird, horny place.
did you guys
For
see
damn
like an
sure.
artist switch like the gender roles for the Valorant characters? And there was like an Omen one.
Oh, gender swaps? No,
Yeah.
That
I have
happens
not
all
seen
the
it.
time, but
Gender
I haven't
bending.
seen this.
There was a hot Viper. Like he looked good.
Oh, I've seen
Yeah.
Hot Vipers before.
And then they did an Omen, and I was like, hey, why she look good like that?
Oh
I
my
was like, they
God.
should have made him a girl.
It's just
You're
fade.
just into like
thicker.
No, it's
weird
not.
ghost like phantoms. You just want a phantom on your peen. That's weird, dude.
It's the emo.
Ew.
Anyway,
But so basically, he basically is talking about what the guy sees when he wakes up because he's been in a coma this whole time. Finally comes out of his coma, and he says, "Oh, so he's describing all these things." But but before he said all that, he looked at me, and the first thing he said was Saint. And because Osiris and Saint 14 are in love with each other, they're in a romance. They're a couple. So in the cutscene that's gonna be in the game in 2 weeks, they kiss,
Oh
and then
shit.
that's it. And then it fades, and then Saint just says something like, "And I'm glad I have my Osiris back or my sunlight back because it's in the game. It makes sense if you play it." But so me because I don't know why the fuck I freaking decided to look through the comments thinking like I don't know why, but I decided to look through the comments and there are just so many people just not happy with it. So many upset little gamers and so many upset dudes are like, what is this shit, Bungie? Bungie's the company that makes the game. What the fuck is this? Why does everything gotta be so woke? Why what? Not my game. Not my game. There was one dude that specifically that I was very tripped out about because I just want you guys because
Context.
it's great. So he comments saying, "What the WTF is this gay bull crap? Honestly, Bungie, WTF? I even thought this is a joke or something." So then the account replies saying, "No joke. This will be in game in 2 weeks." So then the person responds. I'm assuming it's he because
Who else would do it?
I mean, there are homophobic women out there, just, that is a thing, but I feel for the most part, at least on YouTube, they're not going online and commenting this on a video game website or a video game video that's for elite
the
character. I don't know. It just
demographic is
doesn't make sense.
mostly men. That's
Yeah.
what it
So
is.
then so
Yeah.
then he says the poster says, "No joke, this will be in game in 2 weeks." So then the person responds saying, "Don't get me wrong, I have nothing against homosexuality. But why the fuck in D2? Why Saint 14? And why in such an explicit way? Come on, Bungie. I really looks like a joke. Yeah, you do. First of all, you can't even fucking type right. And I love that he's like, I have no problem with homosexuality, but what the fuck is this explicit shit? They kiss. That's it. That's it.
You wanna know what's funny? That it's like they're like,
Bruh.
who gives a fuck? Like you see them at the the characters at the end of the fucking like the ones who play it, like they're in the hangar. Like they
Yeah, they're
never.
just
It's like it's a fucking cutscene. Who gives a fuck?
it's just so it's the whole like that one specifically. The reason I wanted to point out is because it just goes to show the mental gymnastics that some of these homophone people
Hold my
homophobe
phone.
people
How
go
many?
through. They go through
Sorry.
like xylophones. They go through these hoops to just say, "I'm not homophobic, but I hate gay stuff."
Bro,
It's like,
if you have to
why?
say shit, if
Make
you
it make
have to
sense.
say
If
shit
your
like
sentence,
no, if you have to say I'm not homophobic, but
But
you're
then
yeah,
homophobic.
stop.
that's
That's
like,
it.
yeah,
You
you're
are
homophobic. Yeah.
just rephrase it. Say that I am, and then it's like, okay, well, no, I understand. You know, it's you already said enough in the first half. That's good. Just put a period at the end. I am homophobic, and just leave the comment. That's good. I'm good. I got it. I already got it. But yeah, I saw that and I was just like,
Like the obsession
that's
people get over like a fucking kiss. It's like, dude,
That's like the way he typed it out. It's like if they fucking recreated fucking Brokeback Mountain or something, just like
like,
and the whole scene
yeah,
or whatever.
bro.
like,
On the real note, though, Brokeback Mountain's a fucked up movie.
yeah, it
Like,
is.
yes, it is about, you know,
Gay romance.
I mean, even that, it's so fucked up. It's so nuanced. It's like a nuanced thing in the gay community when it comes. That's why I'm so. I don't think I've ever said it on the podcast. Not that it's like a taboo thing to say, but I'm pretty sure I've told that I tell everybody this. Always experiment. Always try everything out. Never be afraid to if you have like an urge or a feeling to like want to try something out, just do it. Because if you don't, then who knows? That small little feeling, that small little thought in the back of your head could just eat away at you as
Lingers.
time goes on. And that's what happened with those characters in Brokeback Mountain. It got to the point where they were both just so enamored with each other and the thoughts that they just went for it and that it just ate them alive. And that's a fucked up movie.
It
I
is.
want to cry every time I watch that movie. That movie sucks.
Don't
The movie
watch it.
was also too real to like what I was kind of going through. Not that I didn't accept myself, but just my
Well,
relationships with men at that time and stuff like that. I was just like, oh, I don't.
I I haven't
This
watched
hurts.
I haven't watched it, but I do know more or less about it. Like
Mhm.
obviously the fucking
Saw it in
the
high school.
what
The fucking
everybody's the no what everybody's talked about it and all this
the
stuff, all
fuck.
the notable parts or whatever.
Mhm.
But you know when it what year did it come out? Like early 2000s?
It's like 2001,
Yeah.
2002.
What's it
No
called?
way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's an old
It's
film.
old.
I gotta
It's got
Google it.
its time now. Well, I wouldn't say old, but it's old. Like it's old for us.
It's like
Yeah,
20
yeah. Ooh, shit.
almost 20
Alright.
years old now.
Yeah.
So point is it's one of if not the first movies of its kind
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
you know it really wasn't it was just
2006.
2006
2000 what? 2006? Oh
2006.
shit.
so
Okay.
it's what
Rated
16
R
years old.
TV MA. Ooh, mature audience. You guys went
Well,
that
yeah,
far to rate
because
it like that on
at the
TV?
at the
Oh
time,
shit.
yeah, at the time when
But
it
that's
was
what I'm
out, like
saying. I'm like
Mm.
it was one of its first kind, so they really were just trying to like get everything out there. And I think Heath was straight up saying like because Heath Ledger was obviously one of the co-stars on it,
yeah.
Yeah.
but he was just talking about how
Rest in
like
peace.
they were just rest in peace. He was just talking about how he just wanted it to be like another love story type of thing, but
Yeah.
because there is
Because it
so
is,
much,
yeah.
but because there is so much,
Stigma.
nuance to
It's
it,
just
it
so
just had to come out like that. Like there was no way that
yeah.
it was going to be received any other way.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Especially in the time in
I
the
think
era that it came out.
Mm-hmm.
I think for those of you that don't put on your analytical thinking caps. Just a little bit. It doesn't have to be tight, but really think about it. Like a romance that's about two people that really want each other, but know and feel like they shouldn't be with each other. It's almost like Romeo and Juliet, almost. So think about that. That tale is about teenagers, and there are movies depicting that with the same age, if not, a little older or whatever. But those movies are rated PG-13. I don't even maybe rated R if there is one. But they still show Romeo and Juliet movies on TV, and they're not rated MA.
Oh, they're
But the
PG-13.
movie, that depicts two men going through the same thing is rated TV MA. So you
Mm-hmm.
never really see it on TV because no TV station really puts mature audience only like
Stars.
television. No, just in general. It's just like
Yeah.
MA rating is never really shown because it's so like the rating itself I feel like is hard to push or something like that.
Yeah,
It's just
obviously.
something like
Yeah.
that. Kind of like how when you're watching a movie, like you never really see there's like so it's rated PG-13, rated R, and then there's one above that, which I think is MA or
MA.
M17 or 18 or something like that. nobody does that because there's like a caveat to having movies that are so highly rated, like
Mm-hmm.
in visceral shit that basically makes people super uncomfortable or whatever, that they just can't show it in so many places. So a story about two men that are in love with each other is rated MA, and something that's a little bit, I don't know, almost on the same level, at least to me, when it comes to just love or a romance or a not even rom-com, just romance is not rated, not even close to being rated R,
Mm-hmm.
and yet they still show it on TV. I was like Titanic was on TV last night. What the hell? Like, come on, you guys tell me that sex scene it doesn't make you? It's like
Isn't it
what the hell?
PG-13? Titanic?
I have no idea. Most
I'm.
likely,
They
point
don't
made.
show like actual like sex. They
I
hint
mean,
they hint it, but they don't show death
right.
either
Well,
because he
the
doesn't really.
most the most that you see in Titanic, from what I remember, because I have seen Brokeback maybe like once, fully once before, and from what I remember, the sex scenes, if I think there's like maybe 2 or 3 or something like that, but it's basically the same level of Titanic,
Oh
like
no, wait, you
the
know what?
same
I think
like
it's R because don't they show
look
Rose
viewed.
like shirtless like like
Topless,
she,
I don't know. I know that
when he's painting
they
her
cut down a
No,
lot of stuff on TV, to be honest, so
I think they
because
I'm
he
censor
pretty
it.
paints
sure
her,
they could
right?
take
Did
that
they
out.
censor it? Because I remember they
They
paint like he paints her
Yeah,
and
they
she's nude.
censor
Yeah.
it, but they show it in the painting.
Okay.
But I
Okay.
mean, I guess artistic boobs aren't enough for an R
Because it's
rating.
art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No shade to women and their boobs, because boobs are nice, but, a woman's breasts are, taboo, but if you paint it, then it's considered art. It's like,
Women
yeah,
are art.
it's it's just tits. Free the nipple. Hashtag free the nipple, for like God's sake. It's just
Yeah.
boobs.
Yeah. Okay. So while we're on that topic, I'm like, I don't get. You know how like obviously there's people, there's thirst traps, and some girls, women who do sex work, and then sometimes they just promote
Mhm.
it by doing risque posts on Instagram or whatever. I don't get like how some people, mostly guys, men, who hate on it and is say shit like oh, you're ruining it, blah blah blah, and it's just like, how much of a cuck are you to just be like no, keep it covered? It's just no, like, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude?
It's
If you're
really weird because some men really do value the sanctity of a woman,
I,
like because they're the life bringer.
it's
But
so weird
with
to
that
me.
being said, I saw some shit, not to
Fair.
like divert too far from it, but it's almost the same thing of like, um, the view of women basically and men.
Mm-hmm.
I was on Twitter, like literally today, like maybe like an hour before I hopped on, and it was this video. Honestly, it looks like a skit. It's not like really filmed hardcore like skit style. Like I think you guys know what I'm talking about, where the camera is almost like, and the acting is too like, oh, okay. Like this is a Facebook video, but it's on Twitter because somebody thought it would be click worthy, but people actually like click it or whatever. And it's basically a girl in a car with her boyfriend or husband or something like that. I think it's the husband. And they're talking about body count. They're talking about like, oh, he's like, honestly, the husband, he's like, "Honestly, I'm prideful. I'm proud of my body count. It's low. It's really low. I'm proud of it." And then she asks like, "So what is it?" And he's just like, "I'm really proud, I just respect that I, respect myself." And he's basically just going on this rant a little bit that's like, "Oh, I'm proud of it." And he doesn't tell her. So then I guess it kind of cuts. I'm assuming maybe the video's longer, but this version I saw cuts, and it cuts to him asking her, "So what's your body count?" And she's like, "For real?" And he was like, "Yeah, dead ass." And she was like, "Oh, like maybe in the three, like I stopped counting around the 340s." And he was like, 40 or 30? She was like, "No, no, no, 340. Like after 340, I stopped counting." And he was like, "What the fuck?" And it was this whole like thing of like, he's like, "I don't even know who you are. Like, give me that ring back." Like, was not feeling it. So my question was to the straight man and my two straight homies, what do you? Because I don't give a shit personally, but I feel like that maybe that has to do with, I stay straight because I feel like that's to do with sexuality. Because I feel like straight
It
men
does.
It
It
does.
does
I
because
think
view
it
a
so.
hurts.
body
It
count
hurt.
way more harshly.
So
But what are your guys' viewpoints
you want
on
to go
body
first,
counts?
Rich?
Does it matter? Do you guys think about it, like, in a
I'll go
relationship before
first.
you're gonna date someone or something, or what's your viewpoints on body count?
I
I'm
don't
curious.
really. I don't think that there's really anything wrong with having a high body count at all. Like, you do you. What the like whatever. Especially like in that scenario where like they're getting married or whatever the fuck. It's like, okay, well, you know what? Even if she does have a high body count, at the end of the day, chose you. You are now gonna be the her husband.
A main dick.
Yeah, exactly. You are that one person for her for the rest of her life, at least according to your marriage. Um, so it's like, who cares? At the same time, I just think about it. I'm like, that's a lot of fucking people. It's not even in a sense of just like sexually wise. It's just like, oh no, she's being used or whatever the fuck. Like, it's just more like how what do you just say like do you just like automatically just go yes to whoever asks, or is it just more like a oh I just went wild, I'm just having fun type of thing, which is like I understand, but at the same time I'm just more like I don't know. I For me it's just like I feel like I don't know. I That's just so wild to me that somebody would just be like all right, let's just fuck right now type of thing. You know, obviously that's not the
Okay.
case with it, but if we're going to the extremes of the like I said, the 300s, 400s, like you're saying in the scenario, it's
Right.
like
Mhm.
it just makes me wonder about what your choice making is type. Like
Oh, I see, I
how do
see.
you make choices
Mm,
type of thing.
Okay. Kinda fair, a little bit. I kinda
Yeah,
get that. Yeah, like, if you're, like and I don't know, I can't picture myself not that I would never, like, wanna like, I would never wanna, like, say no or, like, judge someone for a high body count. If anything, like, if it's in those high numbers, I would kinda get like, "Damn, do you say yes to everything? Because shit, that's a lot that's a high number, like,
right.
to me at least, to
Yeah,
us, I'm pretty sure. But I think it was, like, overly, like, I think it was, like, inflated.
dramatized. Yeah,
Yeah, because of it's for the skip purposes.
right. Of course.
But, no, I kinda get where you're coming from.
Yeah,
What about you, Steve?
um, I don't care. Like, I think a body count is meaningless. Like, I think it's weird. I think the only weird thing is like the fact that you have kept count. Like it's either like I would say it's more like a psychological game to yourself. Like either you're trying to prove yourself something or trying to prove something to somebody when it comes to that. Because realistically, like, look, a body count doesn't mean shit. Like, I don't care if it was in the 300s, 400s. I'm not gonna be like that. I'm not gonna be like, yo, you say yes to everything. It's more like a lot of people explore and experience sex at a very, very young age, and this isn't without speaking how old they are. This isn't talking about like their past relationships, like whatever. Like some people just either I wouldn't even say like they're sex hungry, but it's more like some people need that. Some people need that sort of like um physical interaction with a human being, like for their for their well being, you could say. But for the most part, like yeah, no, I mean I don't care. I mean at least I think that just comes more because of the shit I've studied. It's when people like question that or they like back up and it's like, oh, give me my ring back. It's like you're allowing or you're so like not in touch with your masculinity that you think that that's gonna affect your relationship, like because you're number 300 and fucking five or whatever the fuck, right? It's like
Right.
that doesn't mean shit. Like at the end of the day, like I honestly don't care. Like I've been with somebody who had a high body count. I've been with somebody who didn't have a high body count. It's like um like I can't personally sit here and say like, oh, like I've kept count, but it's like I'm not also like gonna sit here and tell you like, oh, well, this person, that person's like, no, like I genuinely, I really don't care. Like I think a body count is like, that's cool. That was back then. Like you were young, you were having fun, you just wanted sex, whatever the fuck, or whatever it is. Like as long as you don't hit me with some like weird scandalous shit, then I'd be like, okay, cool. But I mean, honestly, I don't even think body count should even exist in a conversation, especially if you're that far into like, yo, we're gonna get married. I don't think
Mhm.
that should even like be a conversation to have. Like, why are you talking about that? Like,
Right.
like your past doesn't mean shit. Like, you're about to get married to this person. Like, who cares? Like, you should care about what you have now and what you've had with this
There
person.
should be there should be other things that you're worried about other than a
Exactly.
body count at
It's
that
like a
point.
body
Yeah.
count. Like, I mean, and that's just my personal opinion. Like I said, like
Mm.
to each their own. Like, if you care about a body count, then by all means, you have every right to ask your partner. Like,
Right.
but But that being said, don't be surprised and don't act like an asshole when you don't like that answer
That's
because
what I
you're
always
That's true.
say. If you're gonna
because
ask a question, be prepared for the
Of course.
yeah,
Yeah.
for the
because
worst answer.
it's like how are you gonna sit here, ask, and then get upset because it doesn't match yours or it doesn't reach your expectation of like you're like, and it's funny that it's always men who expect the girl to have a low body count. If she's here's what I learned. If she's past 10, it's an instant judge in your head. It's like, well, you've been alive for example, for us, you know, we're closer to our 30s. You've been
Mhm.
alive for 20 years. You've had sex for about 10 years, right? That means you've had a partner at least once a year. There's a lot of men, and this is a fact. There's a lot of men that when you hear the double digit, that's a complete turn off, or that's an issue, or the woman
It's
automatically
weird to me.
becomes
Yeah.
they become something else, and it's like no, it's
Mm.
still the same person. Like, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. Body count doesn't mean shit to me.
I
Like,
to I think honest like to speak for the not to speak for, but to I think kind of touch where I think the negativity comes from. I think it's a lack of confidence, to be honest,
Yeah.
yep,
Always.
and it's a lack of trust maybe in themselves. I think, and is being projected because I don't know because you like personally. I have no issues with body count, but I for sure have an initial like sense of like, okay, because I have my own insecurities. I don't think I'm bad at sex or anything like that. But then with my anxiety just in general, I'm just like, and I'm always comparing myself to other people. I feel like everybody does that, but I feel like for some others, me almost. It's a little bit more so sometimes, just because, I'm heavy set, I'm gay, Latino, I'm about to hit 30, it's just a lot of things that are like, that create a sense of like questioning who I am, where I'm at, what I've done, and things of that
Yeah.
sort.
yeah.
So I think that like that kind of bleeds into, personality, slight insecurities or whatever. So for me, my initial thought is, okay, damn, that's a lot. Damn, bitch. Like I'm trying to think of our dating stuff, be like, damn, bitch, that's a lot. That's kinda dope. Tell me about it, because I kinda honestly,
You're a curious person.
yeah, and I'm a kind of a freak, so I might be into it
Yeah,
at some point, to be
Yeah.
honest.
and that's
Okay.
cool.
You
Like
know
I'm
what?
saying,
Yeah.
like that's
But
cool.
see, that's the thing, though. It does create a sense of, okay, so I just wanna, just let you know, let me know if I could do anything to help with the sex, basically. If you're not feeling it, let me know. Like, at that point, then I'm like, "Okay, let me just be communicative," because then I wanna know, like, I feel like you would have a better grasp on how you get off, and me, the people pleaser in me, wants to help that. And I feel like, I mean, not to put a whole lot of weight on sex, but I feel like I would to a certain extent because I feel like, sex is important.
Yeah.
It is.
For it to be good.
It
That's what
has
I'm
its
saying. Like, for
it
it to
has
be
its
fun.
own yeah, it has its own communication.
Yeah. So it's like, just let me know how to make it the funnest for you because I can guarantee the funnest for you is going to be fun for me to a
Yeah.
Yeah,
certain
of
extent.
course.
And then I want us to do something that I'm into.
Yeah.
But that with that knowledge, then I'm just going to be open, about sex then because then it's not even like a sense of like, what's gonna happen. But I also would have this conversation way before a ring is being
Yeah, of
brought.
Yeah. Of
course.
course. Yeah.
Way before that. You were
And
gonna have
even
this
then, I don't think that
like
should
what you were
bother.
saying to
No.
touch on what you
So.
were saying earlier
Uh,
was Steve, is why would you even have that kind of conversation that late into the relationship? You were honestly kind of looking for trouble unless you're kind of in the same mindset of me where it's like,
Insecurities?
no, it's kind of hot. I want to fucking know what you kind of freaky shit you were into. And then I want you to do it to me.
Yeah, that's
Hey,
Let's
fair.
make it
Hey, that's
you know
more
what?
than fair.
Let's make it
Yeah.
fun. Let's make it fun. I wanna get to know you
That's
even
more than
better.
fair. Yeah.
Fuck it. But yeah, I feel like you need to really understand yourself and really be comfortable with shit like that to do anything like that, I feel like. I feel like for some people that'd be like,
Yeah.
"Damn, I don't know if I could do that," or it's a trip, you know?
isn't that funny
But
how like that's literally like a big issue when I
mm,
guess just in an overall perspective of like relationships that it's like for some reason people think that it's like, oh, because you're better at sex than I am, that means you fucked more people. It's like no, that just means you understand your body or you understand what people like,
you're
and it's like
perfectly right. But
yeah,
Hmm.
some of you bitches know. Some of you bitches know. There's always there was that one person that you were both like, whatever. He or
yeah,
she had no other body count. Maybe it was like low as shit, if you had to guess. But that was the best sex. That was the best sex.
yeah.
That was some fun shit.
That's how it is, and that's what
That
I'm
was some
saying. Like
fun shit.
sex is its own conversation. Like it's like
Mhm.
if you're gonna explore each other's bodies, do it in a healthy way. But that like whole like wait, we're gonna have sex. How many people have you fucked? Just so I know, like, how, like, why can you do this so good? It's like, what? Like, that just means your past partners probably suck at it. Like, sorry.
It's also like, don't be surprised. Also, when you ask the question, the age plays kind of a factor. I would say a little bit, especially where we're at because we're kind of like in our 20s, like depending on how long you've been fucking. Like, don't be surprised when you ask a 30-something-year-old, someone close to the 30s, if it's
Yeah.
that shit, if it's a high, not even high, like if it's high for you, like don't be surprised. Like, come on. You're asking someone, you met each other somewhere, like, I don't know. For me, especially the dudes that I meet, most of the time is gonna be on an app, a dating app, hookup app, or something like that. And I don't know.
I
You want to know
I just
something?
wanted to
Just
say
be
really quick.
safe,
I was like,
Shit.
because you Steve said earlier is like, why would you even ask the question or blah blah blah, and
Mm.
also like, who keeps count? I feel like it's a fair question to ask, only because not in the like early on, and because at that point that it makes it seem like that's all you fucking care about, which is really fucking weird. But it's a
Mm-hmm.
fair question to ask because the mind gets curious, and it's
Yeah.
just like, if it really is just kind of like, tickling at the back of your head, as long as you know going in, it's like, okay, well, am I comfortable knowing the answer?
Yeah,
Like,
that's the.
like as long as you're comfortable knowing the answer, go. I say it's more than healthy to do it. And then
Yeah, of
along
course.
with that, so there are the people who like as you said, like, who the fuck even keeps count or anymore? It's just like, some people do. I guess there's like two ways. The douchey way is like the kind that you're saying, like the guy
The
who's like
trophy.
the trophy, right? Where like, it's like, oh yeah,
The conquest.
I fucked like 50 girls or whatever the fuck, or higher, whatever.
Yeah.
That's one thing, and then there's the other one where it's just like, oh yeah, I've had sex with so many partners. And then what's it called? You only remember it because it's just like, okay, well, I was learning from it, or like those relationships kind of meant something to me, or at
Yeah.
least it helped me to understand myself better, type of
Yeah.
stuff. So I just feel like I just wanted to point that out before we kept going, because I was like, I
Yeah.
feel like that's
I do
where
I do want to add on to that. Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
it's and I think you're reaching that, like, that perfect, like, conversation of, like, if you're gonna ask these questions because curiosity does exist, like Richard said, like, have a thick backbone for it, because you don't ask these type of questions without either A, getting hurt, or B, being curious. And it's like, okay, well, tell me about it. Because
Oh, yeah, so
there's
that
people who,
basically
yeah.
circles back to what we said earlier where
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
don't be surprised if you get an answer that you
Yeah.
Right,
don't
exactly.
like.
And
Like,
then
think
it
about why you don't like it, and then go a little deeper. Another moment of putting on your critical thinking hat a little bit, because
yeah.
that'll,
And
help you.
it's sad because it's like that shit does make or break for a lot of people. Or, it's like we like,
Yeah.
but those are the people, like Richard said, like, you're really so high focused in the sex conversation of your relationship that you're willing to, like you're probably like having an amazing time with this person. This is your partner. You're seeing butterflies and fucking stars and blah 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 and fireworks, right? But as soon as you hear that, like, a body count that you don't approve of, then that becomes an issue. And it's
Mhm.
like, now all of a sudden this person's like disgusting to you, or you don't find them attractive anymore because they're quote unquote used. And it's like, no, dude, like, and that, and like, and playing the devil's advocate and playing the other side of, like, if you are to tell somebody your body count, it's like, I think you should, you don't really, no, you know what, no, you don't have to prep the person for that. Like, there's no such thing as preparation of telling somebody, like, this is what my sex life was before you. Like, it's like, that's, to be honest, that's even to your partner, that's very personal shit. Like, that's some
Yeah.
real personal shit, because, like, now you're talking about shit that was before you even existed, or you even came
Mhm.
around, or you probably were around, you just weren't that partner, you know?
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's why I said
So,
that's why I said too. Like, when we brought up the like high number, and like, for me, it's like, it's not about how much the number, or like how high the number is. It's just more like, it's like, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just me more thinking like, oh, like, okay, like, I just want to understand your decision making. Like we said, like, do you just kind of say yes to everything, type of thing, or
so
you
I
know?
think
Mhm.
that kind of touches on, I think, what the argument that people were making. So we're basically, all of us are with I think the agreement of like, no, but like there's more thought because we've given more thought to it, or
Mhm.
yeah,
the thought has popped into our heads. We've seen it. It's all over me. It's me, not all over media stuff like that. But as you grow up, you could just kind of consume that kind of content, that kind of information. I feel like
yeah,
so. some of the arguments that people were making online, I was trying to find it. That's what I was looking down earlier. There was this dude that somebody tweeted, "That's a crazy double standard. It may or may not be for comedic purposes, but why the hypocrisy? Dudes can smash endlessly, but women can't."
Mm-hmm.
Then somebody responded saying, "It's not hypocrisy. Men have a harder time obtaining sex than women do. 1 in 3 men aged 18 to 35 are virgins nowadays, while women have been constantly having sex since the rise of dating apps. When it comes to sex, women must preserve their value. Men must create their value." And I feel like that kind of, if you're there, if you're anywhere near there, I feel like kind of pick at the core more. There's something deeper going on with you. Not to say
Yeah.
like you're totally fucked, but like why even like you're like I feel like that's like affecting your morals. But like think about it. Why is that why would you put sex so like close to
Up
your
there.
morals, like your do or don'ts, your morality? Like this just doesn't
I think
that just doesn't make sense.
that's
Like you
just
have so many other things to worry about, so many other things to like question of. Like why is this one of those? Nah, dude, what the fuck? Like why? Why?
I
There's so
mean,
many other
I was
things.
gonna
It's
say I
like
think it has to do with like olden, like
oh, like old school
old
beliefs and
school
stuff.
traditions, beliefs.
Yeah, traditions.
Because especially like in fairy tales that we're told, and I guess maybe even it historically it did happen where you know the person, the man, the knight had to prove his worth to get the maiden's hand or whatever, right?
Oh, I didn't even
So
think about that.
that's just like the way that
mm-hmm.
like I feel like some of these traditional beliefs have been kind of like
Ingrained
ingrained
into
into a lot of
men.
men. Yes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
exactly. And that was probably true like back in the day because like the 50s and 60s it still had this kind of thing where it's like you had to prove that you could not sustain, I guess, or provide for your partner, and you would
Yeah.
even have to ask for their father's
Hand,
permission or
yeah, hand in
anything.
marriage and
Yeah,
stuff like
exactly,
that.
stuff like
Yeah.
that. So it definitely has a lot to do with that kind of like upbringing, but it's very very old school, very outdated shit. Because at this point, day and age, it's just that the playing field's even. Everybody can,
People can be
sex
on
is just
dating apps. Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, at
Yeah.
this point.
To a lot of
Mhm.
people, sex is literally just sex. Like it has no
Yeah.
meaning
Mhm.
behind it. Like, but
Yeah.
yeah, like I mean, it is true. I think like I guess you could say men do have a harder time, but because
No, I will I was gonna say I would
sleaze.
yeah, I agree with that a little
Yeah.
bit. Yeah,
Yeah,
I feel
like
like
it
not
is.
to
It is
say that women
easier.
have it easy, like every woman has it easy, but it's like really think about it. Like I feel like a man, which kind of makes sense. Men have more to prove. I think it is because of that expectations that's instilled from society and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And the
Yeah.
reason why I say that makes sense is because in today's day and age, I want a man to prove to me that he's not a piece of shit. And
Right.
to me, not like you not being a piece of shit is you doing things that like acts of service, not saying for me, but just how your actions, like how are
Yeah.
you acting, how are you behaving,
I
and
think.
then I can tell whether or not you're a piece of shit.
Yeah. So I guess that would be like today's equivalent of not being, you know, a broke person like back in the 50s or 60s or whatever, like
Mm-hmm.
a lazy bum or whatever. Obviously, like today, some people still, obviously don't care. They're not lazy people, aren't seen in a right light, but it's just more so these days. It's more like, are you not going to treat me like shit? Are you not going
Mm-hmm.
to lead me
I feel
down
like
a very toxic life or path or whatever? Like, prove
I
to
feel
me
like
that you were good for me.
I feel like it's less judgmental, but also more um like, more looked under a microscope, not in a bad way, but, like, it's less just mental on, like, surface level stuff where it's like, like, "Oh, you have this type of appearance or this type of behavior," or something like that, but it's more like less of, like, what's on the surface and more of, like, you as, like, how are you?
Yeah.
You're yourself. Are you a piece of shit? Do you do these things? Are you doing these things? Like, that and I think that boils down to people's, like, do's and don'ts,
Hmm.
basically,
That also has to do a
and
lot
you
with
like, you're
like
not gonna date
society
someone
and
that
social
isn't
media.
a piece of shit or not someone that you're into, so it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know, but
I think to add on to that, it's like it's also like if you're one of those, what is it, 1 in 3 men it said? Like if you're one of those one in
Hmm.
three men,
yeah.
right? And like your biggest concern is I haven't had sex yet, but you're also like not dating. But it's like,
Hmm.
okay, well then maybe you should, like Lee said, take a step back Look at what.
What's the bigger issue?
What's the bigger
issue is that
issue?
you not that you don't
And
have a
also, like, the
girlfriend. The bigger
people.
issue is that you're a virgin. But then the bigger issue to that is why does that matter?
Yeah,
Because virginity is literally what am I trying to think of? Like
isn't
community or
isn't it
like
like
society created.
it's a
Like
social thing?
it's a social construct.
Yeah,
Being a virgin isn't like
Oh,
actually like really a thing. Like the closest thing to that is sure a woman's labia, hymen. I forgot what
hymen,
it is that tears.
hymen.
So it's like that, like stuff like that. That tears in almost every woman's like normal day to day basis. It's not just because of sex. Like
yeah.
so that's what I'm saying. Like it's all just
Didn't you
a
break it riding a
construct,
horse?
you know. Like it's not that big
Yeah,
of a
I'm
deal.
pretty
So
sure.
that's why I was saying like like to go deeper.
Don't quote me on that. I don't know.
Why does your virginity bother you? Go deeper. Understand
Yeah,
yourself
and
better.
and,
'Cause
and it's
you'll
like
thank yourself later.
the people you're surrounding yourself with is one for sure. And I think too, it's like, okay, so like, what kind of people are you trying to like date? Because now you're reaching a different conversation to yourself of like you're I guess a lot of people, because of social media, have this expectation, especially because of porn.
True.
People
Yep.
have this like idea that this is how sex should be, or this is what it should look
Mm-hmm.
like, and you fan
Every time, sorry, I
and
was
you
gonna say,
fantasize. Yeah,
I was
you
gonna say
fantasize these things.
every time this topic gets brought up, like whether us or like I hear it on TikTok or whatever, I just think about that scene from fucking oh my god, what's it called? Was Zendaya Euphoria. Um, I the
Dick pic?
no.
Okay, I'm like
No, the scene where the guy like throws down the
Maddie?
girl all hard. I don't remember their names.
Like,
on the
yeah.
bed.
When McKay pushes down Cassie
Yeah,
Yeah.
in like the first or second episode.
yeah. It's the second episode.
And even Zendaya, I know what you're talking about. She even says like, now don't get all freaked out. Don't be like don't be surprised, or why are you surprised when all men consume is porn and
Yeah.
this kind of porn. And
Mhm.
it's just this like visceral, raw, like angry shit. Like it's just so aggressive, and it's not like sure it can be pleasing to you, maybe like not to yuck your yums, you know, by all means, but for the majority, it's not really like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like most people are vanilla, not gonna lie, and that's not a bad thing
That's
per
not a
se, you
yeah.
know. No, it's not. Like again, also just overall, if body count really matters to you that much, and again, it's none of our concern as long as you're not a piece of shit about it. Like
Dude, put
you
it like
know,
this: you could
live
have
your
a high,
life.
you could have
Like
a high body count, and like
yeah, you
be
have a high
vanilla.
body count, low body count, doesn't matter. Like whatever, you know, to us. But if it does matter to you, that's your life.
Mhm.
You live your life. Just don't be
Yeah,
a piece of shit and affect other people's lives because of it.
Right.
yeah. Or don't try to become that person who's like trying to fucking achieve a goal of like, oh, I'm gonna have a high body count. Because there's people that I know personally who do have a high body count, and they're vanilla as shit. So that speaks on its own. Where it's like you
Yeah.
whatever you could do this, that, and the third, but you're still super vanilla. Like that don't mean shit. Like a body count doesn't mean your experience. Like I said, it's just people know what they like. People will find what they like and find what they don't like. But a body count doesn't justify like how much of an expert you are at sex. Like there's no such thing. Anybody, and this is for everybody, knows that the first few times with whatever partner you have, whether it's a situationship, a relationship, or whatever it is, you or just a fling or friends with benefits, whatever, right? I was like, damn, there's so many labels. I was like, you know, those first couple times are fucking awkward. They're weird. They might want you to do something you're not into. You might want something that they're not into, and it's like, you know for a fact that that shit's not fucking. Oh my god, this is that hot sweaty sex that people sing in fucking rap songs and in porn. It's like, no, dude, you probably like rubbed out like 3 pumps and you're good and you're done. Like that's it, you know? And it's like, and then
No shame.
there I was like, no shame in
shame.
that. No shame for people, right? And it's like, you know, shout out to the 1 pumps.
Well,
Dude, as long as you're ready
to
for
go
round
off-
2, you're good.
to go off of what you're saying, what that makes me ask the question, think of the question. When do you guys feel like it when do you feel comfortable enough to talk about or start bringing in your kinks? Like not to go into hyper detail because again we are on YouTube. So like but like
This is
when like
educational.
is it the second date, like
No.
number wise? Like do you wait till like the second time? Do you mention the first time? Like, are you just like, this
Mm,
is what I'm into, let's do it?
I think it varies.
Or
I think it
like, how
varies on the
many?
person.
Do you have like a general idea?
I think
Vibe?
it depends. Well, okay. I think this is just speaking broadly. It depends on what your kink actually is. If you feel
Mm.
like your kink is something a little extreme to more
You're like
to
getting
most
pissed on.
vanilla people, I just feel like that's something that you don't bring up until you built that trust between you and your partner,
Yeah.
whoever it is that you're having sex with. That it just needs to get to the point where you bring it up, and what's it called? If they're willing to try it, great. If not, you're just like, oh, okay, well, I tried or whatever. But I don't know. I guess I would probably say like by maybe sixth time ish. I would say six.
Like
Yeah.
sixth time having sex.
Yeah, with
I'm
the
kind of feeling.
person.
I'm kind of feeling 4 or 6.
Yeah.
I'm in that ballpark, to be honest. Like, cause
I was gonna
I
say
was-
like
I'm not-
5, 6 ish. Like it all
You
depends.
guys-
sex to me is
Okay, you guys are talking about how
anything-
many times you've had sex with this person. I thought you meant like how long you've been with the person or talked to us, bro. Because there's people
Oh,
who
no.
can date for like a month and they don't have sex.
No,
Right, no.
no.
No, it's just in general, like having that intimate.
Oh,
interaction.
Do you mean dates?
I was like,
Dude,
yeah, I was
on
like,
the 6th day, I'm telling my.
I was
my
like, yo,
fucking
I was
babes
like,
that
what
I'm
the
into
fuck?
This, that, and every other which way around the corner.
I would
So you
say
gotta do
honestly,
it.
I would say like by the fifth one.
Yeah,
By the
that's what I'm
fifth-
saying.
by
Like
the-
5
by
or
the-
6.
yeah.
That ballpark.
By the time you're having sex, like on the fifth one, it's like, okay, the first one's weird. The second one's like, okay, like I think I know what they like. The third one's like, hey, I don't really like that. Like, can we do this or can you try it like this? The fourth one is like, okay, now you're slowly getting a little comfortable, a little freaky. Like, you've probably laughed at some shit in mid sex because people do that. And then by the fifth one, it's like,
talked
okay.
back.
Oh my god, Jesus Christ.
Anyway,
yeah, but I
Whatever,
think
see.
by the fifth one, it's like, okay, you have to have that conversation because it's like,
Yeah.
I don't expect somebody to do something that I like without me mentioning it. Like, it's just not
Yeah.
gonna happen unless they meet you eye to eye at that level.
Yeah, I was
And
gonna
you-
say too.
And you know that they're into that freaky shit, then all right, cool. But to some people it's freaky, to some people it's not. You know.
I was gonna say too. It all depends too. Like getting to know your partner. If you know and you kind of like have this mutual understanding where it's like, yeah, we both know already like what we like and we're willing to experiment. You could definitely do it. I don't know, maybe the first time, but like by the second time, more than likely you're already starting to introduce some of this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for me, for me, it's when I say 3 to 6, it's because of like in my culture, my community. I wouldn't even say culture, my community, I guess, or the spaces that I'm in. That information's basically at the like the access is at the tip of your fingertips, literally. Like
Yeah.
I can go to this specific dudes that I've been like hooking up with or whatever semi regularly. And the only reason why is because he was open about what he was into on some of his profiles, and I was like, okay, well, I'm that thing, I'm pretty sure. And then, we start talking, here we're at. But it's because I like some of that information again is just available at your fingertips. But for me, when it comes down to like if it's gonna be something regularly, semi-regularly, and I have no information, it will be like around the 3rd, 5th, or 6th time. Like that's where it depends on the comfortability.
Yeah.
Like we're basically saying like if that person's close to meeting you eye to eye, if not at the very beginning, then a little like closer than farther, then yeah, usually by like the 3rd time. Like Steve was saying, first time, if you already don't know or whatever, the vibe's not even
Dude.
isn't already there, then you kind of weaseling
You're
around
just-
it. 3rd time or 2nd time, then it's like actually doing it. And the 3rd time is like, oh, then let's talk about it, or it was so good that you just continued after
So,
after that time.
I have a question for this, right? If you guys could give somebody like who's like
Ed? Who would it be?
no,
Who's your one
no,
person? Okay.
no. Like what tip can you give? Just a general like tip when it comes to sex, like that
Communication.
you can give somebody.
What'd you say?
Like, what do you mean? Like,
Oh,
Like yeah, well yeah,
I'm
like
just
a
saying,
tip, like it's like okay, like for example, like mine is like, and this is just because obviously it's from the straight man's perspective. It's
communication.
that's what I
That's-
said.
no, but I'm saying more like when you're like, I don't know. I guess like my thing is like because I've learned this over the years through like
want me to give them a trick?
communication. No, it's like
Oh,
like gentlemen, don't try to finger blast your way through a girl. Like it's it's not it's not comfortable for them. And realistically, like, it's not like a lot of people think like, yo, I'm gonna just it's like, yo, chill out, like, chill out, dude. Like, no one's taking this shit away from you. Like, relax, like, have your moment,
Like Richard and I said, it boils down to communication. But if you're just but you have to get there. You do have to get there
Yeah,
to
of
people.
course.
Like some people just can't be like outright open. Like with the way that I am, there is like when I meet someone new, like even if I'm into you, like if I'm immediately attracted to you, then yeah, I'm a little bit more open. Or if I'm vibing with you as a person, then I'm more open. But for the most part, I'm kind of a bitch when it comes to meeting new people. My friends meet someone around, I'm like, who's this? Who's that?
I'm just like,
What's why you bringing them into this space is basically what I'm trying to attest to. And not to say like my fucking that's my end all be all, like I am the word, but it's just the general, like that's just my comfort level. Like, what's up? Who is
yeah.
this? So that's why like when it comes down to being open, if you're not open and you're just just it's the first day, you guys are vibing, and then you do it or whatever. I can understand, like, it's not gonna go anywhere. Don't start doing the shit you watched last night or that morning before
Yo,
the
on
couple
this,
hours before, like, go slow. I feel like everyone can appreciate a little slow, and honestly, if someone likes it not slow, I feel like they're gonna tell you,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh
honestly.
yeah, for sure.
So,
They're gonna tell you
I
when they're
would
like,
say
yo,
take it slow until told otherwise.
yeah.
I was so communication, and then I was also gonna say, because you did kind of bring it up a little bit. Don't be afraid to laugh. Shit
Yeah.
happens.
Dude, yeah,
You'll hear some funny
man.
sounds. You're having fun. Just roll with
From
it.
both ends, it's like, look, you're in a vulnerable state. Like, you're both naked. You're both in probably a position that you're not used to. You're gonna
Yeah.
hear weird sounds from either you or your partner. It's okay to laugh. Like, I've deadass had like a full laugh blast because it was just like, it was just funny. Like, it was funny on both ends. Where like you look at, like, people looked at each other. It was like, that was funny. Like, that was funny.
I
And then
always
go right
think
back into
back.
it.
Yeah.
Not to this didn't happen during sex, but I always think back. It just goes into the opening thing. And this could be the last part. I remember the first time that I farted in front of someone. I was in my 20s. It was totally by accident. I remember me and my friend were just sitting in his car. We were just baked, and it was after a night. We're all done, but we had so much fun. We just want to hang out some more, and we're just chilling there. And I was just so relaxed. It was just a chill vibe that I was just like, and I was like. I didn't shit myself, just to clarify.
Jeez.
I was just sitting there. I was like, you know what? I'm not even gonna say anything. And I'm just gonna walk out this car.
No.
And he looks at me dead ass, and I can see him looking at me. I'm just eyes straight, eyes forward. I'm just daring eye contact. He was like, Lee, did you just rip one? I was like, no. No. No.
Oh, shit.
No.
Oh, that's a good
Don't
one.
ask.
Oh, the fuck you got me.
It
Oh.
makes honestly, it makes everything better, but it is
Dude,
mad
I
embarrassing, will
once
say.
I once to the next girlfriend, like, we weren't fucking around or anything like that. Like, we were literally just hanging out. And she was like, "Oh, you're not ticklish." And I made the joke of like, "Oh yeah, I, trauma, so I'm not ticklish." And then I tickled her, and she ripped one. And I kid you not, like, I started fucking rolling, laughing. She chased me, like, to try to, like, smack me. She's like, "Dude, that's so embarrassing." Like, I was like, in my brain went to, "Yo, why are you holding that shit in?" Like,
Oh my god.
I was like, "That's so
No,
uncomfortable."
when it comes down to farting and stuff, listen,
Dude.
I don't do that in front of people. I fucking hate doing that. The only
I mean,
I don't do that
is
either.
I'm,
Like,
getting super
yeah.
fast, and I go out of my way to go away from people. Like, I just don't like it. Makes me
Dude,
so uncomfortable.
I could be with somebody
sometimes.
for 5-10 years, and like, I'll tell you this much: like, I will not fart in front of you. Like, oh, haha, like, I gotta rip one. Like, that's just, I don't know. I think that's just more like, it's just more like respect Like, I'm not gonna fart in front of you. I don't even fart in front of my friends like that. So it's like
decency, man.
yeah, it's just decency. But yeah, dude, like I remember that day, and that shit was fucking hilarious because that was one of the one in few times I'm like, yo, like I actually heard a girl rip one, like in actual, like it was straight, like I was like in my brain, I was like, yo, that was relieving for sure. Like your stomach hurt, like there's no way that shit didn't feel good, but yeah, dude, like honestly, like yeah, like
I'm just
but this is-
laughing. I'm just laughing because it really does, like you're saying, like you don't do that kind of thing intentionally. At least as
Yeah.
long if you're not a douchebag, at least. Like,
yeah,
Or
and
if you
it,
guys aren't there, because some people just don't care. And
Yeah, that's
you
what I'm
know,
saying.
When you get there, then by all means,
then
that's
you're
your
there,
thing.
shit
Yeah.
with the
If
door
that's
open
your
type
guys'
of
stuff,
people.
that's your guys'
Yeah.
stuff.
but
That's not my stuff.
but that's what
though.
I'm saying. I'm
Yeah.
like, when it does happen, it's so fucking funny because like for the most part, you kind of look over at whoever did it, and if you're the one that does it, you just kind of look around and you see that somebody like knows that it's you. You just kind of like, fuck.
Yeah.
Die a little.
Yeah,
Die on the
you
inside.
do
I'm
die
like,
a little
Yeah.
bit
"Oh,
inside.
no."
Yeah, but yeah, wrapping it all together, it's get if
Fart in front of your partners.
no,
No,
if get
well,
comfortable with your partner.
If it
get,
happens, it's happened.
yeah, if it happens, it happens. Laugh about it, joke about it, whatever. But yeah, like moral story behind all this is because our biggest topic was sex today. Get comfortable with your partner. Don't be afraid to explore. And if you're not the type of person who doesn't like exploring, make that known because you don't want to come off as like what can you say? Like what's the word for that? Like let's say your partner wants to but you don't.
Like stub. Oh, unavailable, I guess.
Yeah, no, kind of like a prude? I don't know.
No.
Wait, what? How?
Like let's say like you because obviously like that's what I'm saying. Like if you're down to explore, make it known. Let your partner know, whoever, whatever.
But if
the
your
situation.
partner isn't,
But if your partner isn't, and
Don't
they
be
don't,
rude.
yeah, don't be rude.
that's
Like
basically. I'm trying to think. I feel like there is another word of saying it, but
yeah,
to get to the face of it, don't be rude.
yeah.
That's
And then
fine.
and then
You know,
the last thing I can say
They
about
can
that,
get there.
the last thing I can say about that is like there is, and I think we all know this is there is a kink for everybody, whether it's a vanilla kink or it's just something crazy or not crazy,
More
but not extreme. Out of your spectrum of what your kink is, you know. But yeah, no, definitely like get comfortable, get familiar because it's like if you're gonna get with this person, you're gonna and then you want to get married, you want to get to that point. Don't ask the weird questions if you know you're gonna get hurt. Ask the right questions, get familiar with the person, and be respectful, and obviously like have fun because at the end of the day, I think that's probably like one of the most like funniest and most like I think like memorable interactions with somebody is like how did you get to this point to that point
Mhm.
because you went from just straight missionary to getting your butt ate to whatever the fuck you're into, it's like it's just get into it, like get into it, have fun with it. That's my 2
I was
cents.
very worried that you were gonna keep going with that list.
No.
I was like, oh, stop.
No, it's just
Stop it. Richard, okay? Well, I guess we'll go to ending remarks,
Oh.
and then we'll say that what was Steve's, and I guess if you have any music,
I do.
Yeah. Okay. So, what is your 2 songs maximum?
I've been recently dipping my feet back
If
into the
you have to, you don't have
1975.
to. Have to.
Yeah, I was like, I thought
Nah.
about too.
Sorry, say it again.
Just been dipping my feet into the 1975 again.
Got it.
And I think like the one song that's put me in a good mood is what is it called? Here.
Okay.
Sincerity is Scary.
Okay.
Yeah. Sincerity is Scary is probably like one of my favorite songs. And it is literally funny enough, like part of the conversation of things. Because it does ask a certain question to it. And a lot of people tend to forget that. But there's a message behind that song, but it's a beautiful song. If you guys want something chill, you want something upbeat, that definitely is. I definitely do enjoy the trumpets of the song.
Nice.
Cool.
I don't have a second
Richard,
song.
ending remarks. 2 song maximum.
Any remarks? Have fun. I saw Black Panther. It was really good, actually. Go
You
watch
saw
it.
it?
Yeah,
Oh, I saw it too.
Cool.
it was really good.
Cool.
Go
Good
watch
movie.
it. Mhm.
Yeah.
Nice.
Um,
Very nice.
Beautiful movie.
Actually, I was like, I had heard bad things about it. Like
Dude,
some
people
people were
were
complaining
hating.
about it, and I was like, why? It's
You
so
know what I'm
good.
excited to see that's gonna be really pretty? Avatar. I think Avatar might I honestly I don't know if the story's gonna be crazy good. I feel like it might be a little mid, but I feel like it's gonna be really, really pretty.
Yeah,
I've
it
never
looks
I've
real
never fully seen the
beautiful.
first one. I fall asleep.
The first one's good. It's a good movie, but I feel like the story, I don't know. I feel like it's just gonna be cool to dive back into the world.
Yeah.
That's I think it's just gonna be a fun ride. So I'm excited for that one. I should be pretty good.
And then two songs. First one, I'm pretty sure I already said it in a previous episode, like, but it was back like when we were just kind of like glossed over it or whatever, like one of the early ones. Mango by Kamau. It's Kamau. It's just
Mm.
because we're on the sex talk, and honestly, if we're gonna be talking about sex, I'm just add it to your list. I feel like it's one of those nice, sexy songs that you can, get in a
No,
groove with.
Anton Richards playlist.
Wow.
It's
You
a,
guys.
personally speaking,
That's one from the library.
personally
Oh my
speaking,
god.
it's
Did
very,
it
very
work?
groovy.
This
No,
man
I'm just
said,
saying
"I'll
it's
beat my
very
meat to that shit."
groovy, and
He
I
gave us
like it a
the
lot.
eyebrows. Oh my god.
And then if you another one, everybody should know about Deftones. If you don't, amazing band. Also good for this for the sex playlist. Change or House of Flies, I think it's called. Hold on.
Mm,
Yeah, Change, House of Flies. Um it's just, it gets you it gets
it's
you a
the
good
vibe.
rhythm, good vibe.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
But yeah.
Any remarks? It's almost the same thing. Be safe, have fun, and mm, trying to think of like verb like any remark. Oh, my anime. Sorry, I'm still watching Black Clover. This
Ugh.
is a
Are you
character that
liking it? Are you like still trying to get through it? It doesn't get
like
better.
25% of me is like, oh, this is so aggravating, like certain parts of it, but 75 is enjoying it.
The
So
the
this character
fighting
is just
scenes are enjoyable. They definitely
now
make up
the
for it.
fighting scenes are getting to like where I've seen like on YouTube top 10 fights of 20 something something or top 10 anime blah blah blah. So it's finally getting to the point where the animation and the fights are getting less "Kya, kya, kya," like just a
To
still frame
actual,
that's
yeah.
moving, like if there's actual movement. So it's really cool.
Are
But
you
one of the
are
characters, his
are
name is
are you
Mark.
already like how far are you? Are you This isn't really a spoiler because it's
In the
like
anime, they showed off the third eye. Like they showed off the
yes,
three. So
okay.
that's
Oh,
that.
you're okay. So you're close to like one of the like the crazier fighting scenes.
Apparently,
Yeah.
it feels like it's building up.
It's one
But
it's good. Like I watched that one, I was like, okay, I can get behind
nice.
fucking Asa being annoying as shit.
Right. But yeah, so that's what I'm watching. Yeah, the main protagonist is very annoying, and as shitty as it is, I don't I'm not even gonna recommend it. But if you are gonna watch it, fair warning for me at least. I'm not very patient, so pretty sure this is why it took so long. Was the 20th episode? I think I was over him. Like it just you kind of drown it out at that point.
Shout
And
out
if
to the
anything,
captain of the Black
hopefully
Bulls.
Hopefully, if anything, this anime has increased my patience because all it
Yeah.
is just him yelling. Maybe we'll see how I am around a kid during the holidays.
It's like imagine Believe It,
Well,
but like
so
times
we'll see.
100.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
basically. But again, I don't recommend it because of that. If you're gonna watch it because it is binge worthy. Honestly, like the episodes are decent enough for a binge. Basically, like
Yeah.
that's what it is.
It has a good
Um,
story.
Yeah, no, it's cool. That's what I was saying. If you get past the screaming, the story is really cool. It's really interesting, and there's a lot of episodes, so it really world builds, and it really builds the world for you. Paints a picture, but it's obviously visual, but it's cool. Um, I have one song, and I think I might have recommended it, possibly. I don't think so though. It's Hide and Seek by Ada Marcus. Ada
Yeah,
or
you have.
Ida. It's ETTA and Marcus Marcus. It's called Hide and Seek. And it's not really a sexy song, honestly. It's just a really dope, vibey song. Like it could be at sunset or you driving around. Driving around at night is the vibe with the windows down with this song. It's really chill. Maybe not right now because of how cold it is for everyone around the world, except Australia. But yeah, it's a vibe song. I like it a lot. I haven't heard anything new lately. The last I was jamming out to Carly Rae Jepsen before we started this to hype up the energy level. So still listening to that one single. Haven't heard the album yet. But yeah, Ada Marcus, Hide and Seek. It's a good song. But that is it. We thank you guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the support. We appreciate you. You guys can leave a like, comment, and or subscribe if you haven't already. Because we do this. We record every week and we upload every week.
Mm-hmm.
Upload on Tuesdays at 10 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
or maybe a little afterwards. But yeah, I think that's about it. Leave a comment, share with your friends, and yeah,
Yeah.
appreciate the love support. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Choo!